Hi YouTube, back again. I was already dressed up, so I thought I'd go ahead and make another video. I've been writing some stuff down in a notebook, for story time ideas and things such as that. So I actually went to a job interview today, so I was already done up a little bit. Thought, why not go ahead and film a video and knock that out. I think we've decided on possibly posting every Wednesday. Well, so Wednesday probably be my new day. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Like I said, I can't make a firm commitment either way, but I'm gonna try. I mean, I'm trying to do this, but if I do start this new job, it's gonna be Monday through Friday, 40 hours a week, and then plus I'm going to have to do. I'm gonna be doing 13 hours of internship a week. Then I also have an online course that I have to finish too. So it's gonna be a lot, but I like doing this, so I'm gonna try to keep doing it every week as much as possible. But anyway, I made a list the other night of times that I got in trouble at school, and to me, these are hilarious just because I got in trouble for some of the dumbest things. Like, I was not a bad kid. I did not do terrible stuff. I really didn't. I was, as I said in my last video, I mean, I came from a church school. I was not doing things that should have got me in this much trouble, but I think I was just kind of labeled as, a bad kid just because I came from, I was part of, the poor kids, and, I don't know, I didn't have the right last name, and so, everybody just kind of, I don't know, treated me as such. And it could have been me. I don't really know, because, I don't know from their perspective, but maybe they just didn't like me. I don't know. But I think that a lot of these are really funny. I actually forgot to include one that is really funny, and I am going to talk about it too, and then I'm going to talk about the rest of these. I could probably make this a series if possible. I'll see how long I go on this video, and then I'll decide if I want to cut off and do a part 2 or something like that. But the one that I did want to include that I didn't put on my list here was the first time I got in trouble at school. And you kind of have to put yourself in my shoes for this one because, like I said, I didn't have a lot of friends. I didn't know how to make friends. And I also really did not know how school worked and how, getting punished worked. I really did not know, I feel like I didn't even know what you did if you had to go to the bathroom. I think I did, somebody would, said, raise your hand or whatever, but then, I would raise my hand for everything. I remember one teacher got really mad at me because I kept, I would raise my hand to ask if I could get up and get tissues off of her desk. She was like, just get them, you don't have I was like, I didn't know, I was that seriously, I had no idea, and I did not want to do anything wrong, and I was scared, petrified of just, public school in general, because it was different for me. It was I wasn't used to being around people like that. And my teacher before was a lady that was the family member of the preacher that taught me, and then my grandma was my other teacher. So you can imagine, I was just petrified about, people that I didn't really know, and I didn't know what they would do or how they would react to me, acting up. So I tried to be really, really good. But this incident took place in 6th grade, and so what happened was, this one girl that I had started to become friends with, we were being silly in the girls' bathroom. I remember we were just playing games and stuff in there, messing around, and she walked outside, I believe, and then that gave me the opportunity that I wanted to hide from her and jump out and scare her. So I stood on the toilet seat, and in the stall, so okay, so she can't see my feet, so she won't know, and I'll just be like, boo. So that was my plan. And then I waited and waited, and then she wound up, she didn't come back in there. And then another little girl, I'm pretty sure she was in like 4th or 5th grade, she came in there and she like looked up under the stall, and she like saw me. And so she ran and told her teacher, I think, and then that teacher told my teacher that I was playing in the bathroom, you know, when I was supposed to be in there using the bathroom, and I was like getting up to mischief and stuff. So that teacher told me when I came back, she was like, were you standing on a bathroom, were you standing on a toilet seat? And I was like, yeah, but I was just like trying to play a joke on my friend. You know, I was just completely honest. I mean, I'm sure I had the capacity to lie, but I didn't. I just didn't lie. I mean, I was more afraid of, like, being caught in a lie, because, like, that was something my mom ingrained to me, was, like, at least be truthful, like, because it's going to be worse if, like, you lie about it. So I didn't lie. I was like, yeah, I did that. And she was like, in the morning, I want you to go to the principal, and you're going to get wrote up for that. And I was like, okay. And, like, I didn't even understand, like, anything about that. So, like, she told me that, and I was like, okay, so that's what I've got to do in the morning. So I went to the principal, knocked on her door that morning, and I was like, so, like, this happened yesterday, and Miss So-and-so told me that I had to come and, like, tell you about it. And she was like, well, I'm going to have to paddle you, because you shouldn't have been out of class, getting up to mischief and, you know, playing around in the bathroom, and it's not safe for you to be climbing on top of toilet seats, and so I'm gonna have to give you a paddling. And then I told everybody, like, what had happened, and then they were like, why did you go to the principal and tell her what you had done? And I was like, well, I just thought that the teacher would, like, tell on me if I didn't. Like, I thought, like, I should do that because that's what she told me to do. So I did. So I basically told her myself, is the point I'm getting at. It was like, plus that teacher was, like, really old that told me to go do that. Like, so she probably would not have even, like, remembered the next day that she told me to go to the principal. And I probably could have got away with that. Like, but I didn't know. I was trying to be honest. I had no idea. Everybody made fun of me for that, though. That, first of all, that I was standing on a toilet seat. That's a really funny thing to get a paddling for. And then, that I told myself. But, so on the little, like, write-up, it says, like, Dana was standing on a toilet seat. And, then also I was going to address that. I don't know how all schools did back then. I think it probably was a lot more common for people to get paddled. Corporal punishment is what they, like, the correct term for it. But yeah, my school incorporated corporal punishment. Like, I don't even know if they've even stopped doing it now. I'm not 100% sure. I do remember that when we were in junior high, there was this form going around that was like, if you did not want to be paddled, or your parents didn't want you to be paddled, you could sign that form, and instead of getting paddled, you would get suspended. And we did do that. Me and my mom just, like, decided to do that one year, but then I wound up getting suspended for 3 days, and I'll get to that one. But that was terrible because it was so hard to make up my schoolwork, and I got so behind, I almost, like, really made a bad grade. Like, I almost, like, really made a bad grade. It was, like, terrible. But, like, yeah, like, that, for me, like, it was devastating, like, if I would have failed a class. I brought an F home one time on my progress report, and it was because of a bunch of work that I didn't make up because I was sick, and I had, like, yet to make it up, and there was, like, a bunch of stuff missing from the grade, so she said that she had to do it that way, but that if I got everything turned in before the report card came out, that it would be better, and that's what happened. Like, I fixed it by, like, making up all the work, but I was very scared to bring home that F. So, alright, what did I put? Okay, let me get to the part where I was suspended for 3 days, because this one is it's kind of funny, kind of messed up, kind of crazy. Okay, I won't get too much into the relationship I had with this person that got me involved in all of this, because that's a whole story for itself. Like, I dated a guy in high school from the ninth grade until my junior year of high school. So like that was a long relationship with like a lot that like went on and everything. But the point of me getting in trouble was, okay, this guy was like Mr. Christian. Like he was a great guy. He was wonderful. He was like, if you wanted your child to date someone, you would want him or her. I don't know, probably not him because of the way people are in the South, but you would want them to date this guy because he was like the poster child for like Christianity. I don't know how else to say it. Like he was very religious, and his family was religious and very involved in the church. And I won't get to like my views on the church and stuff, but at the time I was like, all right, here we go. Like this is a good guy for me to get involved with, because at that point in my life I was like starting to go kind of down a bad path and with the people that I was around, and then dating him and being around all of his friends really kind of kept me from getting into a lot of trouble. So I don't want you guys to think that I'll just touch on it briefly. Like I don't consider myself a Christian now because I just have a lot of conflicting beliefs with Christianity itself, and I don't consider myself to be a religious person anymore. My views are very liberal and very open to different kinds of people, and my main philosophy is positivity, spreading positivity to others, and loving everyone, everyone from any kind of background or any kind of sexual orientation. You get what I'm saying. Anyway, so I was dating this guy, and it was known in the school that he was this Christian guy who had said that he was going to save himself for marriage, and a lot of people made fun of him for that and called him names and said that, oh yeah, you must actually be gay and because you don't like girls or whatever. And he was like, I do like girls. I just made a promise to God that I would not sleep with a woman until I married her, and it was my wife or whatever. And he got a lot of hate for that, and but he was a good person. He was not hateful towards other people. He would never say anything negative or derogatory to someone who was different or who did not believe what he believed. So I feel like he did not deserve the hate that he got for that. But anyway, people made fun of him for that. I was fully aware of that when I started dating him, but I really liked him, and I thought that like that sounded like a good idea as well, because at that point I was like, I was only 14, 15 I think when we started dating, and so I was like, I'm not even thinking about that kind of thing anyway, like, so this works out for me to like be his girlfriend or whatever, because plus like I thought he was really cute, and I was like, oh my god, social awkward little me like has a chance with like this really cute guy or whatever. So like that was a whole thing. And so I started dating him, and I knew about the whole sex thing like out of the question, basically, like obviously from like everything that I've heard him talk about before. But we could still like kiss and stuff. So I was really into him, and I was actually going to stay a weekend at his house. Like, I was going to be, like, staying with his little sister, but, like, staying with him, too, like, hanging out with them, like, the two of them, like, all weekend long. And we had already, like, made plans for that, and I'd, like, told my mom and got it approved with her, and, like, it was all good. We were good to go. And I was, like, a little bit impatient for my first kiss. And, because up until that point, I actually had kissed somebody at that point, but it was terrible, and I was like, nah, like, that doesn't count, because, like, it was bad. Like, that's not going to be my first kiss, like, do-over. So I was, like, really impatient for that, and I convinced him, this is all me. I mean, I say he got me involved in it, but, like, no, like, this was my idea. I wanted to, like, kiss him in the boys' bathroom, because I figured he wouldn't want to go in the girls' bathroom, So I was like, okay, like, I will come in the boys' bathroom to, like, kiss you. And we, like, set up this whole thing. And I was going to go in, like, the bathrooms, like, faced each other like this. And they were always, like, both doors were, like, always open. So, like, I went over here in the girls' bathroom, and I, like, stood in the doorway. And he walked into the boys' bathroom just to look at all the stalls and make sure there was no boys in there. And then the plan was that we were both going to go into the bathroom, and I was going to stand on the toilet seat again. And he was going to stand there, and we were, like, going to kiss for a little bit, and then he was going to leave and make sure the coast was clear, and then, like, wave me on to, like, leave and, like, go out or whatever. So the plan worked. It actually worked. He went in there, and at first there was a guy in there, and he was like, hey, like, there's somebody in here, like, wait. So he, like, went in there and, like, washed his hands or whatever, and then the guy left. And then he was like, okay, come in. And so, like, we went in, we kissed, it was great, whatever, blah, blah, blah. He got me out. I went back to class, he went back to class. So we weren't caught. Then my stupid ass decided that I was going to write him a letter, because that was our big thing, was writing letters back and forth. I was going to write him a letter about, like, oh, that was, like, so great, like, in the bathroom. Like, I was just like, oh, I'm, like, so excited. I think I said, like, I'm so excited to see you this weekend. And I said, like, you were a little rough in the bathroom. And I was talking about him kissing me. I was like, because he was, like, kissed me, like, rough and, like, hard and fast. And, like, it was rough. I guess, like, that was a way to describe it, was rough. And so I was like, oh, you were, like, a little rough in the bathroom, but it's okay, I liked it, like, winky face. And I wrote this letter, and I gave it to him, and I don't remember if he dropped it, or, like, I dropped it, or, like, somehow or another, it wound up on the floor of a classroom that we were in later on that day together. And, so a teacher found it, and he read it, and he was like, he thought immediately that we had had sex in the bathroom, because I said, oh, you were rough in the bathroom. So he thought, like, we had snuck off and, like, had sex in the bathroom. So he turns it into the principal. And principal calls us in the office individually. He called me in first, and he was like, what's going on with this letter? Like, what did you mean? What happened? And I was like, we went in the bathroom. I was, again, like, honest. Anytime I get caught for anything, like, I legit, like, will always just, like, tell the truth about what I did, because I don't think that you should lie about, you know, what happened. But I did not want him to know that it happened on the school premises, because I figured that is where we would get in trouble. So I did lie. I did fudge the truth a little bit. But I told him, like, yes, like, we were kissing, but what I meant was, you know, he was rough, like, when he was kissing me. And when I said the bathroom, I'm talking about the bathroom at his home. And I was like, we went in his bathroom at his house, and we kissed, and he was, like, rough when he kissed me. And so that was my story. And he was like, so you did not have sex with him or whatever. And I was like, no. I was literally like, no. I mean, like, you know, like, everybody knows that, like, he's not that, like, he wouldn't do that. And he was just kind of looked at me like, but would you do that? You know? And I was just like, no, like, I'm literally, like, very innocent, like, I swear, like, I promise, I really was at this time. But I don't know, I think, like I said, I think it was just, like, that I was in the wrong group of people, is why I was, like, always prejudged before I even, like, had the chance to explain myself. So, he goes in, so he comes out, and he's like, he's telling me that, you know, yeah, so I wound up telling him the truth, because I just felt like it was the right thing to do, and it's wrong to lie, and, you know, what we did, we knew we weren't supposed to be doing, so I decided to be truthful about it, and so we both got suspended for 3 days. But then he was like, I actually lied to him at first and told him that it happened in the bathroom at my house. We told him the same lie without collaborating beforehand. We told him the same lie. And if he had not been honest and told him the truth, like, because he felt guilty about lying, like, if he would have just stuck with his story, we would not have gotten in trouble. The point of this video is, like, just lie. Just don't tell the truth. No, but we did get suspended for 3 days, and what really hurt me from that was not getting suspended, because I knew what we had done was not, you know, it was against the rules or whatever. But what hurt me was that he told me that the principal told him that he shouldn't be, like, with me because of the kind of guy that he was and the kind of, like, person I was, and, like, that he shouldn't be involving himself with someone like me because he was, like, a good kid, and, like, he shouldn't, like, be dating me because I'm, like, gonna, like, influence him badly or whatever. Like, that just, like, I hurt my feelings a lot. And I was like, well, I knew he didn't like me, but okay, like, I guess he really doesn't like me. The principal, that is. So, yeah, I had several other incidents with that principal, and then with the assistant principal. That was even worse because he was the teacher of mine before he was the principal. Assistant principal. And I hated him. I hated him so much. He was very misogynistic. I think that's a word. I'm pretty sure. But, he was, like, big on, like, women shouldn't do this and women shouldn't do that. And he was racist. I don't know if he never said anything to where I would think he was racist against black people, but he probably was. Like, he probably just didn't say it in school because there were so many, like, black kids. But he said stuff about, like, Mexicans and that were very inappropriate, and I have many, many stories about him that I can tell you. I wouldn't say that I'm necessarily like a hardcore feminist, but I definitely believe that women have rights and women can do anything that they want, and he was just opposite of that, and I really, really didn't like it, and he, like, aggravated me to the core being in his class, because I would just get so enraged, like, debating him about stuff like that, and I really didn't like him. And because of that, I feel like anytime I got in trouble, he would always refer back to, like, the way I acted in his class and, like, how outspoken and I was. And, yeah, I have a lot of stories about him, too. I could make probably, like, a whole entire series out of, like, me getting in trouble or me, like, arguing with teachers and stuff like that. And, like, I promise, I swear to God, I was such a good kid. And, like I said, I made, like, all A's in school, and I was, like, really good academically, but, like, certain teachers I just did not get along with, and definitely not the principal or the vice principal. Assistant principal. Because he wasn't the vice principal yet, because he wasn't certified to be a principal. He was going to school for it, so they just made him assistant principal. I don't know. I don't know how that works. I don't understand. But he was a dick. I do know that. Okay. That's all for this video. Like I said, I've got so much more. Like, I literally went through, like, one thing and then, like, one thing that I added. So, like, there's much, much more that I can tell about this. But this is all I wanted to make for today. And, thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. I'm trying to grow this platform as much as I can just because, I enjoy doing this so far. I'm like, I have a place to, like, tell all my stories because, like, my boyfriend's heard them, like, 6, 7, 8, 9 times, like, and so, like, now I have an outlet to, like, share my stories and my funny, like, coincidences and stuff in life. I'm, like, thinking of other stuff, too. Like, when I said coincidences, I was like, there's some really weird coincidences that have happened in my life that are pretty funny. Like, when you hear the whole story, like, play out, and then, like, how strange it winds up being at the end, like, that same person was, like, involved in different situations in my life. But, yeah, I like doing this. So I'm definitely going to continue to do this. I'm going to try to be consistent with posting. We'll see how that goes with everything I have going on. But, that's all for this video. If you liked it, please, like it, you know, leave a comment, whatever you want. I mean, if you want to call me ugly, I don't care, you know. If you want to leave something positive, that's, of course, welcome. Subscribe to me if you like me, if you want to hear. Like I said, I have so many story times that I'm already like thinking about. So definitely, if you like story times, please subscribe to this channel because I have plenty to give you. I might do other things, but for the most part, I'm definitely going to be telling stories sitting down like this. This should be the norm unless I want to expand out to something else. Subscribe to mine and my boyfriend's gaming channel. It's called DNT Gaming. Gaming with DNT, right? Okay. And then we also have a podcast which is called DNT Podcast, like capital DNT Podcast. That's on several things, just about anything you can get a podcast on. We're not on like iTunes or Google Play yet, but we're on like Castbox, Podbean, stuff like that. You can find us and search for us there. We've got 3 episodes up so far, and we post those on Thursday night, Friday morning. Every week. Not every week. Well, we haven't been posting every week, but we're going to try to start posting every week. Anyways, the point is, like, this is the end of the video. Subscribe to those other channels. I've linked my Twitter onto this channel if you want to follow me on Twitter. I don't post on there a lot, but I can change that. I can start posting more on there if I start getting more of a following. But if you want to keep up with when I post and stuff like that, I'll try to like incorporate that on Twitter more. So thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it, and hope to see you again.